Hello, everybody. Hi, everybody. Welcome to Ultimate Freediving Challenge 9. Hello. And the weather is. Hi, everybody. Welcome to Ultimate Freediving Challenge. You're on the camera.
Asian favorite brand, Giordano. Everyone's got a Giordano umbrella because they were selling them cheaply for a while. Giordano umbrella because they were selling them cheaply for a while. The pool water is very hot. I just did my static without a wetsuit and it was still kind of almost too warm. So not really ideal conditions for static apnea. I think we generally like cooler water just to give the dive response a bit of a kick. Aldo's being coached by Garth from Australia. This is Aldo's second static attempt. You can see he's just starting to pack. His official top is at 12:45. It's his second static attempt. He did one 2 days ago on day one. Came up early, came up at 4 minutes. I don't think he was super happy with his performance. He's pretty consistent around the 5 minute mark in competition, but he's been training with Mr. 10 Minutes, Florian Daggery, for the last 4 or 6 weeks in a group training program. So I know that he's hoping to do a little bit better. We've got Judge Shannon and Judge Sophie from Indonesia, Shannon from Singapore. And we're approaching the first minute. Aldo doesn't mind drifting around a bit. Usually when we practice in our weekly practices, he'll have like a lanyard attached to the side of the pool and just let himself float around. Quite likes that in the beginning part of the hold. Hoping later to get David's. David is diving with fins today, but hoping later to after his performance to come and sit down. We're gonna talk about breathe ups. And whether we should or should not hyperventilate. So if you're interested in hyperventilation and the pros and cons of it, then come back. We'll get nerdy on it. We've both got a slightly different viewpoint to most people, so. That was it, 2 minutes, he looks chill. He's got some music playing, you can't hear that, but he's got some music playing. Usually on our Friday night static practice sessions, we Set up a playlist. I think he's listening to Massive Attack today. It's what I was listening to earlier as well as a starter. Pulled back shot. You can see the judges, some onlookers around the edge of the pool. Next competitor is actually a dynamic competitor, so after this the judges will be quickly reconfiguring. And Aldo's at the 3:30 mark. Hard to see if he's having any contractions now on the camera, but usually his contractions will be starting between 3 and 3:30. 3:30 if it's a really good day. See a bit of movement, see his hands moving as his buoyancy is changing with the contractions. But he's going to do 4 easy, I would say, so I think he'll probably be heading for 5 on this one. And then we'll see. I've got a feeling his comp PB is 5:15. Signaling Garth to move him closer to the side, kind of starting to enter the fighting stage of the breath hold. Okay, Garth needs to take his hand off now. Yeah, thank you. Too many red cards we've seen where the coach has left their hand on the competitor's back, myself included. I've done it. I've been guilty of that. Okay, we can see the contractions are getting pretty strong. He's come up at 4:30. Yeah, he won't be super happy with that, but he's a very good judge of his hypoxia. Often he can come up just on the point of samba, so he will have known the feelings and probably just made a strategic decision to come up there. Cool. 4:32. That's a white card. Let's have a look at the lineup, Janice. So I'm talking to Janice, who's operating our media system here. Yes, so as I said, Aldo is our only static competitor. Next up, we've got Tomas from Chile, who is a doing dynamic apnea today. I think he's going to do it with bifins, even though it's dynamic under IDA. That just means you can use any style that you want. So I think he's opting to use bifins, and he might use a dolphin kick with those. If you're using bifins in the dynamic with bifins category, then you cannot dolphin kick. But in DYN you can. Then after that we've got Jean-Noel, who is Singaporean. He's doing DNF. Not many people like DNF in a 50-meter pool, but I think David Horvath from Hungary does. I think that he likes the feeling of DNF in a 50-meter pool. He did about 130 meters on day 1 in DNF, so it'd be interesting to see if he can extend that a little bit. And then we've got Cecilia from Indonesia, who did static apnea on the first day. She's doing dynamic B. Following that, Dimitri from Estonia. Dimitri did a huge DNF dive on day 1, 200 and a turn, but unfortunately BO'd. We had a long discussion about that afterwards, that when you get to his level and you're doing 200 meters DNF, you just have to go all out. There's no There's no safety margin really, so you have to test yourself, and he did that. It was great to see, but yeah, unfortunately, it didn't end cleanly. Then after that, we got Jules from Singapore. He's doing DNF this time. He did static on day one. And then we got Pat, who knocked out a 139-meter DNF on day one. Looked very fresh. Let's see if she hasn't been training at all. She said she was surprised at how nice it felt. So we'll see if that continues today. Maybe it will, maybe it won't. She's putting a monofin on. And then Michelle is competing today, and she's putting on her bifins. Got a few more competitors. Scroll to the second screen. Fifi from Indonesia is making her first appearance during the Ultimate Freediving Challenge 9, and she's using dynamic bifins. Okay, then we got Tracy from the Philippines. She's putting on a monofin. She had a samba, unfortunately, on day one. Claire from Malaysia. She's putting on her monofin today. That'll be interesting to see. She's been doing some huge dives recently, so that was it's been really great to follow her progress over the last year or so. Stefano from Indonesia did a PB in static 501 on day one. He's putting on his monofin for the first time ever in competition, so that'll be fun for him and a new experience. Then we've got Chichen from Singapore putting on a monofin, and Pete Sturgeon. I'm assuming putting on a monofin could be bifin. Sometimes he does that as well. Okay, so I'm just going to go off the air for a second. We've got a camera down, so I'll see if I can fix that. Okay, so next up we've got Thomas Baun of Chile. His OT is in about 2 minutes. I hope he remembers to take off his cap. Hopefully Garth will tell him to do that. Yeah, Garth, who you just saw coaching Aldo, is also coaching Thomas today. Thomas putting on some bifins. He had an injury about a week ago where he cracked a rib. So he wasn't sure whether he was going to be able to dive at all. He did a nice relaxed practice last week and felt okay, so he's decided to give it a go. But he's using his bifins. He's going to do DYN, dynamic. I think he's just going to do a very lazy dolphin kick so he doesn't stress his rib cage too much. His cap's off, that's great. Thomas has only been diving for about a year and a half, maybe 2 years now, but has just taken it to it like a duck to water. He on his certificate course he did a 5 minute breath hold or something, and I think everyone knew straight away that he was going to be a natural. And yeah, since then he's been doing multiple 100+ dives with fins and close to 8 minutes on in training on static apnea. Looks like he's packing, getting ready to start his dive. So he's diving very slowly. He's passing the 25-meter mark. Looks like he's going to be doing slow swims today. Well, not too bad. 45 seconds, about 5 meters from the end. Got 52 seconds for his first 50-meter lap. You can see how chill. He's treating it like a tortuga. It's almost a static apnea. Considering he's got such a big breath hold, it's probably quite a good strategy. And as his ribs are a little bit sensitive, and there's the hundreds in 155. So you can see the splits at the bottom. It's got his average speed. Everything's well below a meter a second. It's about 0.9 meters per second. He's got his hands back now, and he looks like he's speeding up a bit as well. Okay, he's at PB distance pretty much. So maybe this new strategy of very slow swims is going to work for him. Yeah, he's well over his PB, which is about 130, I think. Heading for the 150-meter wall. Come on, keep it clean, Thomas. And there's the wall. Goggles. Wow, super. That is so good. Very nervous doing a big PB jump in competition, but made sure he touched the wall both hands before he came up at the rope. He did speed up. He was just over a meter a second for the last 100 meters, last 50 meters. You can see the splits. Wow. Absolutely super. Look forward to talking to him in a second. Looks delighted. Okay. Yeah. Oh, I love seeing the splits at the bottom of the screen. Yeah, thanks to my buddy Ulf, who's been working on me on these little app ideas that we've got. So you can see the live speed tracking as the diver progresses through their swim, and every 12.5 meters there's an average speed for that distance. Thomas, will you come over? That was insane.
What?
That was fantastic. Okay, we're just going to ask Zan, don't update. Oh, I said don't update, and then just as she was pressing the button, here you go, take that.
Oh my
How are you feeling? You
God.
feeling tired?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, okay. Well, we can see the splits. The viewer, oh, the viewer can also see the splits. So, yeah, you were super slow at the beginning, super
Yeah.
slow, like 0.9 meters per second for pretty much the first 100
Yeah.
meters, and then you sped up a little bit, but to about
Yeah.
1.1 was your max speed. Um,
Yeah.
I explained to the audience that you'd cracked your rib a few weeks ago, and we're gonna
Yeah.
take a very lazy style. Was that the main reason you were swimming slow like that at the beginning?
Yeah. I hadn't done bifin in like 3 weeks or so. Like, so I was like, let me feel this out. Like, how does it feel? And I was doing it like a static, like a long static. It's like,
Seemed to work for you.
yeah, yeah. And I had the plan of doing my hands down, but then actually when I've done with my hands up, it was okay.
Yeah,
Just at the end, I was like, I don't want to have contractions with my arms up.
yeah,
That's why I swam like Enrico.
yeah. Our buddy Enrico, yeah,
Yeah,
head safety today. Yeah. So,
yeah.
and did it feel okay when you put your arms down? I find it feels really weird now that I'm used to
It
being in
it
aerobic
actually
position.
feels weird.
Yeah,
It's much slower. It's
yeah.
actually much slower, but I was like, nah, I'm just because I was gonna start having contractions, so I was like,
Do you remember when the contraction started?
I, I think on after 100,
Okay.
after 100,
Okay, I'm just
like
going to
one
focus
three or
on
something.
Jean Noel for a second because he's
Yeah,
just started his DNF swim,
yeah.
and yeah, it looks like quite a fast DNF swim, not as fast as the bifins, but it's pretty speedy to reset and take his next arm pull. Not much glide time. Approaching the 50 meters. And getting the turn in. His speed about, yeah, he sped up a bit at the end there. 0.9 meters per second at the end. Goggles off. Sign. And I'm okay. Looks okay. Looks clean. And Judge Elise announcing the white card there. Nice.
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 Yeah, because I've
That's
never
good.
done one like my
You
best ever was
about 130,
my
right?
PB was like 120 something.
20, yeah. And that was in comp
28.
as well, I think, wasn't it?
Yeah,
Yeah.
that was in fun.
Yeah, that was a big jump. Were you like questioning yourself as you were going,
Yeah,
like, am I okay? Am I
I
okay?
was like, suddenly I got to the 150. I was like, what? There's the wall already. Cool, yes. And then I was like, I'm gonna get up here.
Yeah.
But I was totally fine.
Yeah, you
So
look
I
like you
was
look very clean.
totally fine. I had a little bit more.
So you touched the wall with both hands just to make sure the judges
Yeah.
saw that
Yeah.
it was a
Yeah.
full 150.
So that was, yeah, totally unexpected. Like I thought if I would do 100, I'm like I would be happy. But 150, like what? My new PB?
Yeah,
New PB?
awesome.
151.
Congrats.
All
That
right.
sets you up nicely for Japan
Yes.
in
Yeah.
end of June, right?
Yeah. Yeah. So I think I will do, yeah, bifin
Do you think
first day.
do you think you'll use bifins in the dynamic category as well, or will you
Yes.
put a monofin on?
Well, depends. Depends.
Don't know
We'll
yet.
talk. We'll
Yeah.
talk.
Okay.
Yeah. Thanks.
Sweet.
Bye.
Cool. Thanks, Thomas. Well done. Congratulations. Okay, so we'll see if Jean Noel. I don't know Jean Noel personally, so hopefully we can catch him and talk to him about his swim. It'll be interesting to find out his training and his approach. Okay, I'm just going to turn the mic off for a second, just make a few adjustments. Got David packing furiously. He packs for about 30 seconds and you can see he does hundreds of packs, or at least tens of packs. Packs an awful lot. He explained to me that he likes to overpack to the point where he's almost squeaking. His glottis is almost squeaking, just to delay the contractions. Okay, and his speed about 0.7 meters per second. Pretty standard for DNF. I think day one he did about 130 meters in DNF. Maintaining that speed. Nice turn. One arm pull, one leg kick. Looks like a little bit faster for this sector, speeding up a bit. Had a very interesting conversation about hyperventilation for dynamic apnea, something which is a bit taboo in freediving. But hopefully, as long as he doesn't black out, because there's always a risk if you hyperventilate a lot, hopefully he'll come and tell us a little bit about that. Okay, and that's the 100-meter mark. Might be wrong, but I think David was saying he likes DNF in the longer pool. He likes sort of getting the flow. In the shorter pool, 25-meter pool, often there's speeding up, heading towards the rope a bit. Oh, come up, David. Come up. You could see the samba was starting and he dipped. You could see it was starting even before he came up. Okay, nice. You see how fast people recover. Just keep their head above the water. We're taught to blow on the lips and the eyes, and to talk to the diver, but often you don't really even need that. If you just, as long as the nose clip's not blocking the airway and there's some fresh air on the face, then usually you'll come around super fast. And you could see there that was, I don't know, 5 seconds or something, and he woke up again. $121, yeah. So I don't think that's quite as far as he swam in the 25-meter pool. His PB is 100, just short of 150 in a 50-meter pool. Okay. So hopefully David will still want to come and talk to me about breathing techniques. Fortunately, that was a red card. But yeah, great to see he recovered very, very fast. So his wife Michelle going to see him on the side of the pool there. Hopefully that hasn't, I'm sure it won't affect her. She's seasoned in terms of competition, so.
No power, right?
I jinxed you. I said, hopefully, if he doesn't black out, then he'll come and talk, and we can talk about hyperventilation. And then he sambered.
Yeah, just sit up.
Okay, David's coming to sit next to us. He's getting a pulse ox on his finger and going to breathe some oxygen just to make sure that his tissues are nicely saturated again.
My SPP is higher than normal. For me, it's only. Yeah, but it just. It's not really. Okay, and that program. So when that it's only 96 months.
Okay, so we're actually looking at lane 3 now. Zan's just moving the cameras.
5 minutes. So let's wait for 5 minutes. Okay.
Looking at lane 3 and Cecilia from Indonesia. She's got bifins on. I think she's wearing silicone fins. Looks like a pair of short silicons.
Do static.
She's got her hands back. And even though she's got the little fins on, you can see she's kicking fast, and her speed is around a meter a second. Maybe even a little bit faster. She's approaching the 50-meter wall, and she's at 42 seconds. So pretty speedy lap, actually, using the short fins.
Gonna go do stuff as that.
You're coming for an interview?
Minimum. Right.
Well, we're live, so you are now. Was this your first competition coaching anyone, Garth?
And seeing them black out, yes.
And yeah,
Before David, I'm happy to say that the first two competitors did extremely well, and one
Yeah.
of them did a personal best and possibly a national record.
yeah. I think it. Oh yeah, we don't even know with the national record. Okay, we're just going to go back to Cecilia because she's just turned at the 100-meter wall. I'm not actually sure what her PB is. She,
Around here, but her breath hold is long.
yeah, she's got a 5+ breath hold. She's coming up now. She's holding onto the rope. Looks pretty clean. This is what David should have been doing. I'm teasing him because he's sitting next to me while he breathes, inhales oxygen. That looked clean.
But she had a late check-in. So
I'm really amazed that she maintained that high speeds, like up to 1.3 meters per second at points.
Oh, okay.
Safeties are well back.
Yeah.
She looks worried, but it's definitely a white card. Well done, Judge Elise. Great. Yeah, so you're not competing today?
No. Happy to be coach, happy to support the three guys who asked for their assistance.
Yeah.
And hopefully that was beneficial for them.
Have you got any plans for your training this year?
We have world champs coming up, so I'm going to have to contribute the €300.
Yeah.
And then get over to Osaka.
That's good. I'll get my training partner back for static then. That's I have to say he's been a little bit lazy the last 2 or 3 months.
I've been MIA.
Missing in action. I'm sure there's good reasons for it. Okay, so next up we've got another exciting diver, someone who likes to have a little bit of a dance at the end of his dives, or at least did on day one. Dimitri from Estonia, probably the best diver we have in the Southeast Asia at least, and Australasia. Definitely the best diver in Singapore in terms of the performances he can churn out. Had a BO on day one, had to go and see a doctor yesterday to get cleared for competition today. He's choosing to wear bifins. I don't think I've seen him wear bifins for a while actually. He's been on a DNF spree. So we'll see how he goes. We'll see if he wants to try and push and get close to a PB, or even better a PB, or if he's going to play it safe today.
at least 250, hopefully.
Yeah, 250 for Dimitri should be relatively safe. He's turned at the 250 wall a few times, and I think he's pushed his bifins to 2.6 something in the past.
267, maybe?
2.67. Looks very composed. Trying to see if he might be doing a little secret hyperventilation, but doesn't look like he knows he's on camera. Dimitri and I always squabble about whether there's any benefit to hyperventilation in any discipline, even statics. He's a tidal breathing advocate. He's got good reasons. You're going to breathe all the oxygen.
Sorry, I'm a little bit greedy. Doing it just to
We need some left to do some ultra long static afterwards.
Oh.
Yeah. It's probably going to jump straight back in and do a 200-meter dynamic, 400-meter dynamic. Okay, 1 minute to official top. Garth, would you mind running down to Martin and telling him to reset that? Oh, he's done it. Okay, no worries. Just noticed that the timer had not been reset yet. Okay, starting to pack.
Okay, thank you very much. Okay,
And he starts his dive. Very nice arrow position. Pushing his shoulders tight against his head. Got his hands nice and flat, one on top of the other. So very small amount of flex in his knee with his leg clicks, which is kind of a model dynamic bifins kick. And he's getting to the 50-meter mark in 44, 45 seconds. 1.2 meters per second for the last two sectors, last two 12.5 meter sectors. Which is a good pace, I would say. Dynamic disciplines have just got faster over the last couple of years, especially certain body types. I think muscly body types have discovered that going fast is good. And globally, at World Championships, you'll see that the pace has generally increased a little bit over the last couple of years. Dimitri's not the fastest for sure, but he is not slow either for sure. Looks like we've had a bit of a problem with our sectors. Our timing has reset, unfortunately, so we can't track his speed anymore, but I'd anticipate that after the 200-meter turn, he'll probably increase his speed a bit. We're at 150 now. Still looks pretty chill. Can see he's reduced the number of kicks he's doing before he glides though, so it's a sign that there's a bit of lactic maybe. There's the 200-meter wall. Now for most people that's the dream, to reach 200. This is kind of a training dive distance for Dimitri. Oh, and he's coming up. Yeah, looks like he's decided to play safe a bit today. Suspect that he may have been a bit lactic actually. Haven't seen him doing 2-3 kicks on a glide at that distance that early in a dive. So may still be recovering a bit from day one, where he did that huge 200 plus DNF that ended in a blackout. Okay, nice. And he'll take the white card. It'll still be the biggest dive of the competition, probably. He looks pretty happy, so I think he was aiming for a clean dive.
Was just this one, there was a attempt at the wrong place and then it
Okay, cool. Where did David go? Okay. Hang on. And we've got Jules just starting his DNF swim, I believe. Yeah, he's announced a DNF dive. He did his very first competition dive, pool competition dive on Thursday. Hey, Sarah, do you want to come and sit with me? No, she doesn't. Okay, I was going to ask because she trains with him. They both dive at Zen. Anyway, Jules was saying that he was super happy with his static. There was a funny clip he put on Instagram where he finished his static in
120.
120. Okay, but
We will be quite happy if you reach 100.
100 would be a
Little turn would be even better.
would be even better. Would be a
Little turn would be even better.
would be even better. Okay, yeah. So
I know that
probably
that's
not trying to push for a massive PB or anything in his first comp.
No, exactly.
Looks like he's around 0.7, 0.8 meters per second, which is a pretty reasonable speed for DNF, I think.
Yeah.
Not super fast, not super slow.
It's usual pace.
Jules is an instructor for Molchanovs and has been doing a couple of seasons now, I think, of pretty almost full time during the season. He's been doing almost full time.
He's teaching at Yonan for the past season.
Yeah. Now he's back in Singapore. It's good to see him in the comp scene. How about you, Sarah? Any plans to compete?
One day maybe, you know me.
One day.
Probably at the more than
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, you've been spending a couple of months here and there.
Yeah, a few weeks here and there. Accumulated.
Yeah. Well, there's the 100 meters. So he's already met his happy distance, and let's hope he keeps it clean. He's obviously feeling good. I think he's no, staying on the center line. 2 kicks, and he's heading to the rope. It looks super clean. Straight in, yeah, easy. Through his okay sign at the judge. There we go. You can see Judge Shannon. Sorry. Just checking the 30 seconds. There's always a bit of an awkward wait for 30 seconds while judges check that the airways stay above the water. But clearly we can see that she's got the white card in her hand already. Jules won't know yet. He'll be nervous. First comps, so always your mind's racing. Did I do it right? Did I? You can never quite remember. There we go. That's confirmation. Safeties. Give him a hug. I think that was. Is that safe? Was that Quimian? I think safe thing there, alongside Enrico. Not too sure. Okay, and now, oh, you're on the camera.
Oh, I am. Oh, hi.
And she stands up and runs away. Typical. Okay, I'll put this one down. So we are, maybe you could show the split view with me and, yeah, great. Yeah, so we have got, who is up next? Oh, it's Pat. Okay, I was looking at the monofin and I was thinking, I think I recognize that monofin. She's in the shade. So yeah, so we got Pat. It's our first monofin dive, actually. I was expecting to see a lot of monofins because it's the 50-meter pool, but not so far. Maybe we're going to have a little flurry after this. And her OT is at 36, so she's got about 2 minutes to official top. Got no idea how this is going to go. I think she's put a monofin on a couple of times over the last month, but she definitely hasn't done any massive dives. The sessions that we've been in the pool together, I think she's been doing some 100-meter repeats, maybe a little bit longer on occasion, but definitely nowhere near her 200-meter national record. She's actually dived a little bit further in competition using bifins. I think just 1 or 2 meters more. It's like 203 maybe. Yeah, so although she hasn't, she felt that she was overtraining last year. She did a long depth season, and then she smashed some full national records, and then another depth season. So by the end of that, she was pretty tired, and she's taken 4-5 months off, just doing fun swims, diving for fun. She went to the Philippines recently and had just fun dives. Took some photos, did some scooter exploration dives and some shipwrecks. She's turning into a keen technical freediver, so exploration is her new hobby. There she goes. Oh, I love this camera angle. This is fantastic. The water looks so nice and it's so hot where I'm sitting. Just want to jump in. Okay, now we've got some proper speed. The speedometer comes into its own. She's not the fastest diver, but she doesn't hang around either. Speed 1.4, 1.5 meters per second. 32 for the first 50, it's pretty quick. Last Thursday, Sing Chan and I were commentating during our DNF, and we were laughing, saying, "You never know what you're going to get with Pat. It could be a 100-meter dive, or it could be a 210-meter dive. You never really know." There's the 100. Katerina Turn, fin out of the water. She looks like pretty resolute. She's back on the black line. That's a good sign. Nah, she's done an arm pull already. I think the lactic maybe. It's a bit unusual to be doing arm pulls at 110. Yeah, okay. I think that's a fairly clear sign. It's not going to be a massive dive, but maybe she's got a new strategy. She hasn't been in the gym for 6 weeks, so maybe her legs are getting a bit weak. She's turning. She hasn't stopped. One, two pumps, and an arm pull. Oh, here we go. She's exhaled. Nice clip off. She looks pretty happy with that. I'm sure she hasn't done a swim like that for a while. 170 meter-ish. I think she's going to be pretty happy. Judge is deliberating. Judge Elise is noting something down. Judge Judy in the background there. They look very serious. Oh, it's not Elise in 4 grams. Sorry, it's Sophie. $167, I think. Looked like she was just doing a quick mermaid dive there, not a serious comp dive. Okay, we haven't interviewed anyone for a while. We need some people to interview.
To get David and you were like, oh, Michelle is diving soon. So
Oh, okay. So yeah, David's gonna be sifting here. Yeah.
introduce myself.
Oi, come here, come here. Gonna nab her. We haven't interviewed anyone yet, I don't think.
Be ready to help BB later. Yeah.
Okay, cool. We'll just have a very quick one then.
Hi. Oh,
Hey.
hello. Oh, can you hold this?
Yeah. That looked kind of similar to your dive on Thursday, where you did a middling distance, which is unusual for you actually.
Maybe the whole thing about not training too much
Yeah.
works, and I think it's a good start. Is it?
So I saw that you were doing arm pulls very early, like
I'm
after
messaging you,
your.
like, don't pretend you don't know. I told you I was gonna do that.
I read those messages.
Okay, fine. Yeah,
You
because I
did. You did. You said you were going to alternate your technique. Were you worried about lactic? Did you feel
yeah
lactic?
yeah I did. That's why I came
Yeah,
up. I was like,
okay.
oh, haven't been to the gym for like
Yeah.
six and a
But you
6
turned at
weeks.
150, and then you did a triple pump, and I thought, oh, maybe she's right.
No, I did it from 100.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
Right.
You look pretty happy with that, though.
I mean, it's within expectations.
Yeah.
No, I had no expectations. Sorry.
Yeah. Well, that obviously worked pretty well for you as well.
Yeah.
Yeah, super nice dive. You were again looked really fresh. So even though
Yeah.
your muscles are a bit tired,
Yeah.
how long has it been since you went to the gym?
Yeah, like since mid-March. What was that?
2 weeks? No, 4 weeks. Oh no, more than that. 5 weeks. Oh no, what month is it? I don't know. Yeah. Okay. Sorry.
Yeah.
That's not too bad.
Okay. Yeah, it's okay.
Good tapering.
Yeah, I can. Yes, I don't want to make it too difficult for myself to mentally like catch up next week.
It must be reassuring to know that your breath hold is outstripping your muscles at the
Yeah.
moment, though, because gym's more fun than
Yeah.
training
And
static,
not,
right?
but like if you gym too much also, I mean,
Yeah. You need to make sure you're tapering when you do comp dive.
yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Can-
Okay. Cool. Thanks. You need to go and do some coaching. Okay. Sweet. Anyway, next up, I can see that Michelle is just starting to pack. Is she? She's got bifins on. She's wearing silicone bifins. I think when a diver like Michelle puts on silicone bifins, it's a signal that they're out to have a bit of fun. It's going to be a fun dive. She's going to look for some vibes.
Slip, it's on the floor here.
Okay. Might be David's. It looks like something's gone wrong with our timer, unfortunately, but I think considering Michelle's in her silicons, she does do big training dives in silicone fins actually, so it could be that she's just preferred to use those today. Looks like our timer's going a bit bananas. Wow. Okay, you're gonna have to ignore the. She's just maxed out the speedometer. You're gonna have to ignore the distance meter. Oh, actually, okay. Ignore the speed. The distance is kind of almost right. Running a bit fast at the moment. There we go. Looks like we're back on track again. Yeah, so 0.8 meters. Yeah, so she's diving. She's doing a long dive, slow dive. There we go, 100 meters. Just under a meter a second, around a meter a second. Now, I've got a feeling her comp PB in bifins is about 150. And so she's getting close to that now. She's passing in front of us at 130, 140, and she's up. That's a great dive for training fins. Really, really fantastic. She's a bit pale. Her lips were a bit pale there at the end, but otherwise very strong surface protocol. Elise and Shannon looking on from the judges. One, 3, 4. And whites. Awesome, that's great. Yeah, love it. Yeah, Michelle decided not to dive on Thursday. She wasn't feeling it, so really nice that she came and put her silicon fins on and did 100, a distance that I can only dream of. 1, 3, 4. Okay, should we have a look at the scoreboard? Let's just have a quick recap of where we are so far. So we started with Aldo at the beginning of the day. Haven't spoken to him yet. He said he was going to come and speak to us about his static. Was probably a little bit less than what he was hoping for. 430, but white card. Tomas did a possible national record. We need to check that. 150 is a PB by about 20 meters or 25 meters. And very clean in dynamic. Then we got Jean-Noel from Singapore who did 64 DNF. Looked pretty happy with that. David had a shake and didn't catch it this time. Caught it on Thursday, but not today. Then we had Cecilia from Indonesia who took the white card at 116 in her first competition. Dimitri looked pretty happy with his 227. Not close to a comp PB, but a very strong dive nonetheless. Jules in his first freediving comp with fins in dynamics, 113 DNF. Then Pat, without training, knocked out another 167. Her and Dimitri seem to be just, yeah, their training dive seem to be just incredible these days. Then Michelle just did 134 with her silicon fins. And next up, we've got Fifi from Indonesia, followed by Tracy from the Philippines. Stefano, my buddy from Indonesia, from Surabaya, representing the Boyo. He's not actually Adik Surabaya, he's from elsewhere, but he's a steadfast member of the Surabaya freediving community. And then we've got Shichen from Singapore in the dynamic, and Peter dynamic as well. I'm not too sure whether all those DYNs at the end, those 5 dynamics, are going to be wearing monofins or bifins, but it'll be fun to find out. I think I might go and find someone to interview. I'm going to go for a little walk. Next up, we've got Fifi. Oh, gosh, the ground's super hot. I need to come back and get my scandals. I haven't had anything to drink today either. I need to go and get some hydration. Well, Fifi started. Missed the beginning of her dive. She's diving in. She hasn't got a wetsuit. It's super warm, so she's not going to need a wetsuit for sure. Looks nice and relaxed. She's pretty active in the Indonesian diving scene. She comes over to Singapore occasionally. She's diving in this pool. Hi, Sam. Do you want to come talk to me about hyperventilation later?
Oh shit. Yeah, sure. Am I gonna get canceled for this? I mean, sure.
I think we probably get cancelled together.
Yeah, okay, let's
Okay,
let's
see you later on. Maybe we'll get David as well.
Okay.
See you in a bit. Okay, Fifi's turned at 15. She's heading back 75 meters. Looks like she's heading for the rope. Looking super casual, sitting on the lane right there. I like that. I'm going to try that. That's a really cool way to hang out. Nongkrong. Pat trying out her Javanese. Nongkrong means to hang out in a squatting position at the side of the road, chilling with your buddies. Nice, clean white cards. Okay, I still haven't found anyone to interview. Who am I going to interview? I'm not going to interview Zan. Hey, I'm on the screen over here. Roving reporter. Oops, sorry. Martin is augmenting our reality. How's the augmenting reality going today?
Play too much. Less mistakes than last time.
Yeah, our whole setup is really cool. Actually, I'm kind of proud of it. But it's a passion project rather than a professional project for sure. So things are expected to go wrong. It's part of the charm. It's fun. So they're like heading straight back into the changing room area where there's some shade. Find anyone to talk to. Anyway, next up we have Tracy. What I really need is to find someone to fill up my water bottle. Yeah, is there any chance you might? I haven't had any water. I'm super dehydrated. Are you are you coaching her? Oh, you want to see it? Okay, yeah. Yeah. I'll tell you how many minutes there are. Hang on. Sorry, I'm just trying to find someone to take my. It's 50. You've got 2 minutes. 2 minutes to Tracy's official top time. See, she's got a monofin on as well. Now, Tracy is a speedy monofinner. We saw Pat was somewhere around 1.4 meters per second, I think, if I remember. Be interesting to see what Tracy does. Tracy and her training buddy Pete are both among the fastest in the world, I would say. Like compared with other international top level athletes, they really are super fast. About a minute to official top. Oh, and Tracy's begun her dive. She's already halfway across the pool. And she's approaching the 50-meter wall already, thank you. So Tracy finished her dive fairly early, the DNF dive on Thursday, and had a bit of a shake and dipped, which was a bit unusual. She said at the time that she's just been back from a 2-week trip where she's been diving with whales and then did a lot of kiteboarding, and she think that she was fatigued, hadn't really recovered. But despite that, she still managed to, in one sector, she did 1.7 meters per second, so it doesn't seem to be affecting her too much on this dive. There's the 100s, just about 1 minute and 10 seconds. Yeah, she's getting faster. It was 1.9 meters per second, that last sector. Zipping past us, heading for 150. So I think her PB's in the 180 sort of range, but we'll see if she doesn't tend to pull punches, Tracy. She'll go right to the moment she senses hypoxia. And then there's always sort of an 80%. Ah, no, she's coming up a bit early. 160. Yeah, that looks relatively, no shakes. She obviously decided that she wanted the white card for this one. A little bit pale, slightly blue tinge to her lips, but very clean. She looks a bit disappointed. So perhaps she was planning on going a little bit longer on that one, but the judges are pretty sure they're going to announce white card. Jules, welcome back to the interview booth.
Thank you.
Do you want to take
Sure,
that one? I've
yeah.
got one here. So yeah, you were saying that you were pretty happy with your static on Thursday. It was your first
Yes.
comp.
Yeah.
You got your first comp blues out the way. I
Yes.
saw since then. I've got a question to ask you about that
Yeah.
static because
Yeah.
I saw on Instagram after that.
Oh.
As you emerged, you announced to the world that that was damn boring or something
Yes.
along those lines.
No, it's damn boring for my own dive, not for the sport itself. It's
He's backtracking now.
it,
It's okay. I'm not offended. Aesthetic's my favorite.
It-
But it
it
doesn't
was-
have to be everyone's.
yeah. But for me, what happened was you have the calm nerves, and then usually my urge to breathe appears around 3 minutes mark.
Yeah.
So my coach Sarah was I told her to give me the first timing at 3 minutes.
Yeah.
But because of the calm nerves, I guess the urge to breathe came much earlier.
Oh.
And then there was this moment, like maybe 30 seconds to 45 seconds, where I was just waiting for 3
Waiting
minutes.
for her to say three.
Yeah,
and
and
it
then-
felt like an age.
Forever. Yeah. And then after I heard the 3 minutes, I was like, okay, I still have to continue holding my breath. And that's where I was like, oh gosh, this is quite, at
Yeah.
that moment for me, it felt quite boring.
Okay, so talking of Sarah, she came and did like a quick interview during a dive.
Yeah.
You'll probably hear it later on. But she was saying that you were kind of aiming. You had a nice target of like 80 meters, and 100
Yeah.
would have made you really happy. But you
Yeah.
turned,
Yes, I did. Yeah.
and you were actually pretty close to your PB at the end. I think.
No, actually, I surpassed my PB by 5 meters. Yeah.
Sweet.
Yeah.
So comp
Yeah.
nerves obviously work for you then. Dynamics at least.
Yes, for sure. Yeah. There's. I mean, my favorite discipline is no fins. Has always been. Not that I've trained a lot, but yeah, the first 50 meters was really, my heart rate was, I felt it all the way for the first 50
Yeah.
meters, but it kind of mellowed out
Settled
after
that.
after
Okay.
the first
A
turn.
little bit of CO2 will do that, right?
Yes.
Up
Yeah,
to you.
for sure. Yeah.
That's great.
Yes.
Okay, well, congratulations.
Thank
You must
you.
be really pretty happy with that.
Yeah, I'm very happy for the first
Sweet.
competition. yeah.
Okay. You said that no fins was one of your favorites. Is that true in depth as well?
No, because in depth, my current aim is to try to go deeper
Okay.
So the discipline that I'm still very comfortable with is free immersion.
Yeah.
Yeah, but once I reach a certain depth, I would like to go back to no fins in depth.
Okay. Well, that bodes well for your static, because I think there's a strong correlation between people that like free immersion and people like static. So maybe you'll fall in love with it yet.
Yeah, maybe I should come and train with you.
Yeah,
I
that
just
would be
heard that
good.
I live quite close to you.
So you're in Upper Bukit Timah area as well?
Yeah, I'm at Bukit Batok
Bukit
Central.
Batok. Okay,
Yeah.
that's sweet. Yeah, just around the corner.
Sure.
Okay, well, you should come round
Yes.
anytime. I train every day, so.
Yeah. Okay, thank you.
Cool. And seeing as Dimitri's here,
Yes.
and no one's giving him oxygen today, it's a turn up for the books. You seem pretty happy with that dive, even though it wasn't obviously close to a PB.
Yeah,
Can you hold your microphone?
sure. Yeah, I am. I guess I'm happy. Better than a blackout for sure.
Yeah. Okay. I was wondering whether you would just throw caution to the wind and
I
go for
was,
it, but
yeah, I was thinking about it, but I think didn't feel it today. I guess.
oh, I'm just going to interrupt you for a second because Claire, Martin, I'm going to have to get a new timekeeper. I'm going to sack him. Yeah, so we've got Claire from Malaysia. She is monofinning today. And I don't know if I've ever seen her in a monofin, but she's been doing some big bifin dives over the last year, taking national records as well. She took a national record in
She
static.
from Malaysia.
Yeah. There we go. It was fairly efficient turn there at the wall. And we'll see her average speed settle down, get a better idea of her average speed in the next 12.5 meters. Looks fairly relaxed, I would say, right?
Let's see.
0.8 meters per second on the timer. So for a monofin, that's pretty.
Yeah, she does like this constant kick technique, I see.
Yeah.
Which I also like to do.
Yeah, actually, I've noticed that.
So that gives you like a bit more speed, I guess.
Okay, there we go, 100 meters.
Ooh, that turn.
Yeah, that turn wasn't
Could be better.
quite so efficient. But the
She's still
speed's
going.
increased a little bit, right? 1.1
Mm.
on the sector up to the wall. Looks like she might be heading towards the rope.
And she's up. Yeah, it looks like that was well within her limits.
Yeah. There's a bit of hesitation on her okay sign, but
I don't think there was any hypoxia there.
No hypoxia, no, very clean. I wonder if that's maybe one of her first monofin dives in a competition. Nice big smile anyway. Looks pretty happy. Just wait and see what the judges say. I just want to ask you about lactic in a moment after we get a... Oh, emotional fin. Just like mine.
What do you do with your fin?
Which one?
What do you do with your fin?
Mostly use it.
Hang it on the wall.
Mouse mat occasionally.
You can always do static wearing a fin.
Yeah. Just to spice it up. Okay, that was good. White card, very nice. Yeah, sorry. So I noticed at about 200s, even before the 200 turn, you'd reduce your kicks to maybe two or three kicks and a short glide.
Yeah.
Was lactic playing a factor today for you?
I think that's what I do always, usually naturally. Just to not get too tired, not to do constant kicks. I don't like to do constant kicks for bifins.
Yeah.
I like to do some glides in between, and that doesn't affect the overall time per lap anyway that much.
Yeah.
So I think it's good to add them, and that way you don't feel as tired, you don't feel as lactic.
Okay. So it was part of normal planning. It wasn't like especially high levels of lactic or anything like that.
Yeah,
Okay.
I would say so. Yeah.
And you came up. You looked look pretty. You were breathing hard, but you look pretty fresh. There was no hypoxia or anything like that. Did you just plan to have a nice dive today and come up a bit early, or?
I guess I would say I wanted to see how it goes. But I feel like I came up at the right time. I feel some signs of hypoxia, maybe not already visible, but in my head that
Yeah, you
was
can
like a
feel it.
bit. So I think it was the right choice to do. I think pushing it further might not have been a good idea.
It's hard
so
to, I guess, at your level, it's a little bit hard to know if pushing it further means having to go to PB distances, then that could be pushing it too much. It's difficult to find that balance, right?
yeah, I guess you can only the problem is you can only feel it once you get to like 200 plus, and then you sort of can assess how you are and what you can do further. And even then, it's hard because you're already not really thinking straight, I guess, after 200 meters. So it's very automatic, I would say, at least for me. It's like, yeah, whatever you trained to do, that you will do probably in the last 50. So yeah, it's very automatic. You cannot really think straight. You cannot make good decisions under low oxygen, and so that makes it double tricky to. And the fact that you also don't reach these distances that often makes it very hard to train, I would say.
Yeah, it's not like you can just churn out 250 plus 3 times a week, right?
Correct.
Yeah. In terms of recovery, what will you do typically after like a big dive like today? Is there any juices or anything like that you like?
Oh, recovery. Not breathing, but other recovery.
Oh yeah. Sorry, like
Yeah.
long term recovery.
Just to eat something, like anything.
Carbs
or fruits, yeah, sugar, something like that.
Yeah, okay.
I think that helps.
Yeah. Okay. Cool. Thanks very much.
Welcome.
If you see anyone else that I can interview, could you send them this way? Oh, we've got a diver on the go. Who we got? Oh, it's Fano. Sorry, Fano. And this is Fano's first. He's only actually boarded monofin very recently, and his first competition dive in a monofin. Looks like he's doing double pumps. Should I pull that one? Okay, let's see how his turn goes. Doing a Katarina turn. Nice, well done. Someone who hasn't been in a monofin for more than a few months, that was pretty swish, I'd say. I know that Jimantoro in Indonesia, one of the Indonesian depth record holders, for a while at least, has been helping him with his monofin technique in the pool. Hi, Jiman, if you're listening. And his comp PB in bifins is 110, 120, and he's approaching the 100-meter wall right now. Super. And another good turn. It's looking strong to me. It'd be interesting to see if he decides to play it safe. Yeah, he has. Nice clip off. He's got. Ooh, keep your chin up, chin up, chin up. Yeah, he just needed to get his fin down. When you're wearing a monofin and you're hanging on lane ropes, it's very difficult to balance sometimes. But he's in shallow water, so he put his fin down when he was nice and safe. Suspect that's a white card. Wait for the judges to confirm. About 113. I think he'll be pretty pleased with that. And it's white. Awesome. 2 white cards for Fano. He came over from Indonesia, first competition abroad, only second competition altogether. And nice white card and a PB for static on Thursday and a PB for dynamic on our second day of competition in the 50-meter pool. First comp in a monofin. And we've got 2 competitors left. Shichen, who's diving dynamic. Has he got bifins on or a monofin? Bifins. Okay, so he's dynamic. He's diving under the dynamic IDA dynamic category, but He's wearing bifins just like Thomas Bowen earlier today. The final official top is at 18 minutes past 2. Are you coaching, David? Coming to have a chat. Okay. Awesome.
I'm very interested in
Does-
Chichen's dive.
Does
So we'll have to
okay? Well,
pause.
yeah. Well, maybe we can commentate. Do you want to join our chat?
It is.
Ah, Molchanov's nose clip. Yeah, we were wondering about that. Okay, actually that works.
You
Yeah.
are? Oh, you are.
Can you hold the mic?
Yeah,
I'll just
sure.
yeah. Okay, so with me we've got David, who you saw dive DNF earlier on, and Michelle. Michelle is the owner of Zen Freediving, and Shichun, who's just about to dive, trains with Zen. So I think we'll probably just take the next couple of minutes to do some commentary.
Absolutely.
You know much more about him than I don't. I haven't seen him training. I've seen a few comp dives.
Amazing diver. Really strong physically, mentally.
Yeah.
We've very good technique. Yeah. All the things you need to admire him for are there.
Yeah.
We've had a friendly competition.
I think I've only ever seen him. Oh no, I've seen him in bifins a few times, but he likes DNF a lot.
He likes DNF a lot. So on 2 days ago he did DNF, right?
Yeah.
Because 2 years ago he blacked out in that very same pool.
Yeah.
Trying to do 150,
and right.
There's been kind of a friendly competition going on between him and I. Who's going to hit 150 first?
Yeah.
Actually, in a 50-meter pool.
And you're
you're
still 1 meter off, right?
I'm still 1 meter off. He's got way better chances, to be honest. Yeah, you'll see him.
Okay. Do you know why he's chosen to use bifins in a 50-meter pool today?
I think he's.
Sorry, in a dynamic category, not in the 50-meter pool, but in dynamic.
I'm not sure, to be honest. I don't think he has a monofin,
Oh, I
so
see.
he could announce it if he
just allow him to do a few dolphin kicks in the middle if he feels like it.
I think you get. I don't know how the points are calculated here, but basically he has a chance to win this competition, right?
Okay, right.
So
you'll just need a good.
He needs the
card.
most points.
Yeah.
Yeah. He's done the longest successful DNF 2 days ago. So if he does a long dive, although I don't know, we'll see. Tomasz did a 150 today and the very long.
That's
static.
true. He wasn't expecting that and a very long static, so that'll make him a strong contender as well. I'm not sure how many points they're awarding for DNF either, so be interesting to see that. Started quite fast. Is this typical for him? He's at 1.3 meters per second at the moment. It's 36 seconds, 50 meter. Sarah's whispering over my shoulder saying this is pretty normal pace for him.
By the way, in this pool, Chichen did 160 something with silicon fins in the past.
Wow.
So
actually, I was going to ask Michelle later, what influenced your choice to use the Molchanov silicon fins?
Probably lack of training.
I was guessing it might just be a signal that you were here to have fun and just enjoy the dive.
I mean, because I haven't done.
You just turned.
Dives or satisfactory training, I would say, and especially with the long fins.
Yeah.
In a while, so I thought I'll just come and do a chill dive, or hopefully chill dive, and it was.
Well, you got pretty close to PB distances as well, right? You were like just in front of us here.
Yeah.
Comp PB distances.
Yeah, well, it is a comp PB for bifins.
Oh, that's right.
And
because
actually, it is my.
You've done 150 before, but it wasn't white, was it? Yeah.
Yeah, very nice.
Yeah.
Okay. It's getting close to 150.
And he's looking mellow.
Yeah, which is lovely.
Nice turn, very composed. He's
Coming up.
and he's up. Did he come up shaking his head there? It looked like he was shaking his head like a no.
Yeah, I think so.
I think maybe a bit of
Probably
frustration.
Disappointed.
Yeah.
He doesn't look happy.
He looks like a nice guy.
Could be the CO2 was a little bit high. Probably needed a bit of hyperventilation, right? Increase the relaxation. Shouldn't be disappointed though. That was a strong dive. Yeah.
Well done.
Okay, so 155-ish.
You have your own mic, right? I don't need to.
Yeah. I've got my own mic here. 157-ish. Plus his DNF of 130 something, was it?
140.
140. Huge DNF.
Yeah.
Could be in the lead of this competition. It'll be interesting to see how the points are scored. Yeah.
I think Thomas is.
Oh, wait, yeah.
Thomas did an unexpected 150 today after his 730. That was a huge PB for him. Prior to that, his PB was 120 or something. So
wow.
Yeah, he extended a lot of just big lungs, huge lungs.
There's also Pete soon. And
yes,
let's not
Pete's
forget
our
about
last
him,
diver.
because he's also in the race for the podium.
True, and it was clean in the end. He had a bit of a shake in the DNF, but it was a white card, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So Pete's drilling a new technique, which is like a long-term investment. Initially, he's expecting and accepting performance penalty on his dives, and that's possibly applicable to his dive today too.
Okay.
But he's consistent, pragmatic, and a believer in long-term gains. So
yeah, I think, and it's a decision that everyone has to make in any discipline. You get to a certain level, and then everything slows down, right? You're not getting PBs every week anymore. So sometimes there's some fundamental things that need to be.
Yeah, I suppose
reset.
that's what his approach is about.
Yeah, I trained with him the other day, and he said, "It's amazing the new technique. I'm doing 50 meters in 3 less strokes or something than I was doing prior to it, but
a lot of tension.
I've got no relaxation at all, so I can only dive 55 meters or something." So yeah, there's always this trade-off, isn't there, between efficiency and relaxation.
For him in the end.
Which leads us nicely into our segue. Okay, so David and I have something in common. We believe that the war against hyperventilation is maybe a bit exaggerated. Is that a polite way of putting it?
I think that's a very, very nice way to put it. Yeah, I completely agree with that.
And obviously, my discipline is static, and I think everyone acknowledges that there's some hyperventilation in static, although we don't tell beginner divers that. But yeah, I'm good. We're going to speak to Sam in a minute. Maybe we should just get him in now. But there seems to be growing evidence that hyperventilation has a place in other disciplines as well.
Yes, I tend to agree with you. Static
basics of hyperventilation, but yeah, Pete's looking strong and not as fast as Tracy, actually. He's at 1.3 meters per second at the moment. He was a little bit slower than Tracy was on the first 50. Is he slowing down a bit?
I think he's trying to. He's trying to maximize glide.
He's using his technique, isn't he?
Yeah.
Like his glide time, you can see it.
Yeah.
So he's extending his glides, and that's why it's reducing his overall pace a little bit. But look how far he's gliding. It's working.
Good. He's done over 3-minute dives, so
yeah.
Glide works for him and long dives.
Yeah, it is 3 pumps.
It looks very good.
It does look nice. It looks efficient.
See how far he gets, but it looks amazing.
Pete hasn't been diving monofin for that long. I mean, he was diving bifins for a few years before he decided to put a monofin on. It's only been 2 years, maybe, right? Hasn't done any really long dives for a while. Well, that's worked for some of our competitors. Okay, he's approaching the 150-meter wall. I don't think he's ever done 200 in a monofin, has he? He has in his bifins. Has he in
He's
training or?
not sure. He's definitely done more. Oh, that was.
I think he did a 200-meter bifin dive in the dynamic category.
He did more than 200, 209 or 211 or something like that.
Yeah. Okay.
Mono.
Now he's speeding up. So this is trademark Pete.
Yeah.
Now he's really now he's doing an apnea
He's
speed.
going for it.
The speedometer's maxed out at
200,
1.8 meters per
200.
second. Oh no, he slowed down a bit again.
Safety divers
Okay.
are nowhere to be found.
Yeah, poor safety.
Yay. Look at him. Strong.
That was clean. No
Yeah.
shakes. Nothing like his.
So good.
Oh, oh! I spoke too soon.
Yeah, he didn't dip.
No, it was right. It was good. I think it was just him just adjusting his monofin as he was hanging on the rope there.
Sweet. That looked good.
And now I've got no clue who's going to win this, because I think between Pete, Thomas, and
I don't know how the
Chica,
points are calculated. Do you?
I did
We'll
read
see.
it, but
That was nice. That was long.
yeah, super. Just look at. Let's just take a quick look at the speed there. So he started his first lap,
Okay.
1.3, 1.3. Oh.
Then come back.
Sing Chan's not going to let us do our hyperventilation talk. Okay, let us know in the comments if anyone's listening. If you want to know our in-depth thoughts about hyperventilation, let us know in the comments, and we'll set up a discussion at some point around the pool. And we've got the boombox. So
Thank you so much.
Your name in the post-it, please.
Thanks, David. Thanks, Michelle. I think we'll just end the feed there. We'll just flick to the scoreboards quickly so everyone can see the overall results. So there's our first set of results. Oh no, there's 2 red cards in the middle. We made a Indonesian, Singapore, Polish flag in whites and reds.
Nice, perfect.
Yeah, all of our flags seem to be variations of red and white. And then for the latter part of the comp, our monofin dives there at the end. Okay, guys, thanks for joining us. Those people who are watching. I'm just going to cut to the advertisers page very quickly because it's super important we acknowledge that Freedive XQ, Sing Chan's dive school. Sing Chan has organized these ultimate freediving challenges for the last 3 years. It's a huge commitment in time, like huge, plus financial commitment as well, getting prizes, running the pools. That is never ever completely covered by the entry fees. He really believes in making competition a service to the freediving community, and growing the sport in Singapore has been instrumental in that, as well as just doing phenomenal performances himself. So yeah, well done. Thank you, Sing Chan. And Hollywog, hollywog.sub. Go and follow them on Instagram. Our competitor Fano from earlier today has kindly sponsored a bunch of merch for the competitors and volunteers to win during the comp. His company has a brand for fins and masks and snorkels and all the freediving stuff that you want. High performance gear, often at a really remarkable price, and some really cool models as well. So if you're looking for fins that have a range of different colors to suit your personality or your wetsuit, then go and check out hollywog.sub on Instagram for some of his offerings. Thank you very much. Get Ecstatic, that's us doing the commentary, the media setup. The thanks could continue. I'd like to also thank you, the media crew. I'm not going to name everyone because there's too many of us now. The judges, some of who have traveled from overseas, Sophie in particular. Thanks to all the judges, and the competitors for joining and turning out time after time. That's it.